Yes lads, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, and today I'm bringing you guys the Leicester City versus Bournemouth match preview. So you guys, today I'm bringing the match preview for the game on Saturday where we take on Bournemouth at home in the Premier League. Before we get into today's match preview, guys, make sure a big thumbs up down below on today's video. That is the best thing you can do to help support the channel. So make sure you put a like down below on today's video if you're going to enjoy it, of course. And make sure to subscribe to my face on your screen before, so we're on the road to 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys, if you haven't already. It is much appreciated. And while you're down there, make sure you turn on my channel post notifications. You can do that by tapping this small little bell. It's literally right next to that subscribe button. And tap that and you get a notification every single time I upload a video on the channel, guys. My social medias will be down there. Links to them will be in the description. So go and follow my Instagram, Snapchat and Twitter. Like I said, links to them will be in the description down below, guys. And let me know in the comment section down below your score prediction and thoughts for the game, for the Leicester versus Bournemouth game on Saturday at the King Power Stadium. So guys, starting off today's match preview, we are be talking about our opposition for the game on Saturday at the King Power Stadium, and it's obviously Bournemouth. But I won't be talking about them too much as I got back of the net to come on the channel today. They're a Bournemouth fans channel, and there we bring you guys an insight on the Bournemouth side of things heading into the game on Saturday at the King Power Stadium. So thanks for them for coming on the channel today. I'll leave a link to their channel in the description, so make sure you do subscribe to their channel, guys. And they also do podcasts. I feature in episode 56. You can listen to that on Spotify, so make sure you do check that out, guys, if you are interested. But now I'm going to hand over to them. They're going to bring you guys a Bournemouth insight for the game on Saturday at the King Power Stadium.
Yeah, hi guys, my name's Sam and I co-produce Back of the Net, which is a podcast and YouTube channel, cheeky plug. Go and subscribe. We're brand new and it's so interesting chatting to the Bournemouth fans after each and every game, because I've sort of been able to gauge what people are thinking about our season so far, and it's fairly positive really. I mean, we've done all three. We've drawn, we've won, we've lost. However, I mean, after the first two games, people expected for us to get 4 points, but not in the order that we got it. We thought we would beat Sheffield United at home, and we beat and draw with Aston Villa away, ended up beating them, which was a fairly solid performance. Sheffield United, not so much. They were fairly well drilled, but we just weren't at the races at all. But then against Aston Villa, we started fast, scored 2 early goals through Josh King, and of course Harry Wilson, who's come into his own as well. And then when you play Man City, it's as good as a free hit, really, because they are a class above. Loads of our fans that I was chatting to just said they are so much more technically gifted, they're faster, they press, and we just couldn't really cope. And when Sterling ended up scoring to make it 2-0, you kind of think it's curtains. But then Harry Wilson steps up with that free kick, so we've got a decent threat from set pieces. So I'm kind of really looking forward to seeing more of this lad. But he does dip in and out of games, but I think he's a player that's likely to start at the weekend. Elsewhere, Billing and Lerma in the middle for us have been fantastic, really good players. And then Ryan Fraser, slow start, but certainly in the cup game that we've just had against Forest Green Rovers, he came on to good effect. We did draw 0-0. Forest Green Rovers were very well organised. Bournemouth should have put the game to bed, but in some ways it was a poor game, and in other ways it was hugely encouraging to see some of the players that came in having great games. So what team lineup Eddie goes with, I don't know. I think 4-4-2. Wilson and King are likely to start up front, and then at the back, Jack Stacey, who's our League One signing from Luton Town. We bought him for a few million, quite a few million. Thought we did really well. We got a bit of a left back crisis at the moment. Charlie Daniels, awful injury against Man City, dislocated his knee. Not going to be back for quite a while, and it is reaching the twilight period of his career. So whether he's going to be back in a red and black shirt this season, I don't know. But Adam Smith has been on the left a number of times. He is Mr. Versatile, so I do expect him to start. And then Jack Stacey as well, I thought was phenomenal. And then of course you've got Nathan Ake, who's been, compared to Harry Maguire, who I guess you know quite well, and Steve Cook as well, who's very reliable for us. Aaron Ramsdale in goal. So it's a Bournemouth team that pretty much picks itself. And it's a team that can attack and score goals. We're getting better defensively. Whilst our 1-0 defeats to Manchester City last season looked good on paper, we didn't register a shot on target and it was a poor game. Despite the defeat this time, it looked worse, 3-1, but we were better. So performance-wise, we're looking good. You're looking good coming into this as well. There are a number of players that are going to be threatening on your part. With James Maddison, what a player. Really like the look of him. his turn of pace, the way he can just find these through balls. He can ping it from left to right. He's got that kind of swagger that I love from players of his ilk. Should be playing for England more regularly, I think. What a player. So he's the one I'm sort of looking out for, because he does tend to pull the strings quite a lot. But I'm gonna go for a 1-1. That's what I reckon. I think you're going to be up there come the end of the season. I think you're going to be looking, Wolves' kind of position last season. Whether they're going to push this season, I don't know. But there are a number of teams that are going to be looking for 7th place, and I would say that it's yours to lose. For us, a top 10 would be great, but the upper echelons of the lower half, that would be absolutely fine. So that's what I'm going for, hoping for a good game, because it's always very entertaining between our two sides. But up the cherries. And I would say good luck, but I don't mean it really.
So that was the Bournemouth side of the match preview going into the game on Saturday at the King Power Stadium. And now we're going to be starting to talk about Leicester City for the Leicester side of the match preview. So last time out for Leicester City, we travelled to St James's Park in the Carabao Cup second round to take on Newcastle, and we came out with a win. It took us to penalties, and we fielded a very strong lineup for the Carabao Cup second round at Newcastle. The likes of Jamie Vardy and James Maddison featured and played the full 90 minutes, so that could impact us going into this game on Saturday against Bournemouth. But we will be talking about that one later. But we do remain unbeaten so far in the Premier League. Obviously, we got the win against Sheffield United last time out in the Premier League, and we also drew to Chelsea and Wolves early on this season. So overall, it's been a very good start to the season. We remain unbeaten after 4 games. But now we do turn our attention back to Premier League action as we take on Bournemouth on Saturday at the King Power Stadium, and it's another chance to get 3 points on the board and stay unbeaten so far this season. But I'm expecting a very difficult test on Saturday at the King Power, with the likes of Callum Wilson, Josh King and Harry Wilson providing big threats for that Bournemouth strike force. I'm expecting a very tricky game at the King Power Stadium, but hopefully we can get the 3 points and climb that Premier League table. 3 points here will be massive going into the international break, and we should be in that top 4 if we do win on Saturday. So yeah, 3 points, hopefully we can get them, but it's going to be a very difficult game against a strong Bournemouth side. But now moving into my 1-11 for the Bournemouth game, this is where I predict the lineup which I think Brendan Rodgers will go with to start on Saturday at the King Power Stadium. So after the Newcastle game, with the strong lineup we put out, I'm expecting a few changes going into the game. Obviously Jamie Vardy and James Maddison both played 90 minutes, and that could impact their fitness going into the game. He only made 2 changes in the game at Newcastle, so I think there will be 1 or 2 changes to decide which starts at home against Bournemouth on Saturday. So starting off in goal, I'm going to go with Kasper Schmeichel. He will be wearing the captain's armband for the game on Saturday. Obviously the penalty hero for Leicester in goal. He's been really good so far this season. He made a big save against Sheffield United. He's kept 1 clean sheet so far, but none of the goals have really been his fault, so I'm expecting another solid performance from Kasper in goal. So now moving up into right back, handing over the ever-present Ricardo Pereira. The Portuguese has been brilliant so far this season. Didn't have the best of games against Newcastle United though. Bit of a mistake for the Newcastle goal with that quick free kick. But Ricky's good at right back. He's been there for the past 2 seasons now, and I think he'll start against Bournemouth and keep up that attacking play and his defensive work. He played well against Wolves and Chelsea, so hopefully Ricky can have another strong performance at the weekend at the King Power Stadium. Starting off with the 2 centre-backs now, the right one, I'm going to go for Kagalos for Youngshu. Made a bit of a mistake against Newcastle with the goals. Him and Ricardo really messed up in the right back position. He would have given a penalty away, so hopefully Kagalos can have another scrum-ish performance. Hopefully better than that Newcastle one, and hopefully a little bit better than that Sheffield United one. But obviously so far he's been brilliant this season, the young Turkish centre-back. Alongside him, the experienced Johnny Evans. He didn't start against Newcastle, but he has come on for the injured Wes Morgan, so no one will be taking his place, only if Filip Benkovic, that he's not ready. So yeah, Johnny Evans will start at centre-back for this game, and I'm expecting another solid performance from Johnny. Obviously really experienced in the league, he knows the league, and I'm expecting another solid performance from him. At left-back, I'm going to go with Christian Fuchs once again. Ben Chilwell, we still don't know. He got called in for England today, but I don't think he'll be ready for the game on Saturday. He didn't make the bench or anything against Newcastle, so I'm expecting Christian to start once again at left-back. And Christian's been brilliant so far this season when he's been involved. He's played against Chelsea, he played against Sheffield United, and he played against Newcastle last night on Wednesday night. So yeah, hopefully another solid performance from Christian at left-back, sorry. So now moving up into midfield, I'm going to go for a 3-man midfield, and at the base of that midfield, I'm going to go with Hamza Chowdhury. He started against Newcastle, got took off, made a few rash tackles, but that's how Hamza is, and that's how you want a defensive midfielder. He makes a foul now and again, but usually those tackles are brilliant. He's a brilliant player, young English talent, so yeah, I think Hamza will start, and I don't think Wilfred Ndidi ready to come into the lineup, so yeah, Hamza will start in that CDM position. The 2 midfields in front of Hamza Chowdhury. Starting off the right one, I'm going to go with Dennis Pratt. I think he will start, and I think Yuri Tillemans will be rested for the game against Bournemouth. Obviously, he hasn't had the best start to the season. Looked very tired against Newcastle on Wednesday night. So yeah, I think Dennis Pratt will come into the lineup, and alongside Dennis Pratt, I'm going to go with James Maddison. Scored that free kick against Newcastle, and his penalty with Panenka was very good. Obviously, he's missed his last penalty against Cardiff and Manchester City, and he made up for that with a beautiful penalty from the spots. His confidence must be going up high. He got called up for the England squad today as well. So yeah, Maddison must be really happy with his start to the season, and yeah, he'll start in that midfield role next to Dennis Pratt. So now moving up into the front three, in that left wing position, I only go with Harvey Barnes. Obviously, he scored that brilliant goal against Sheffield United last time out in the Premier League. He started against Newcastle. I think Brendan will give the youngster another chance in that left wing position. Hopefully, he can keep his performances up. He's very direct, good. We want a bit of attacking on that left wing to trouble that Bournemouth defence. In the other wing position, I only go with Mark Albrighton. I kind of hope that Jose Perez does get dropped. He played pretty well against Newcastle, but couldn't take his chances. He had a few decent chances late on and in the first couple of seconds, in fact. But yeah, hopefully Mark Albrighton comes into the lineup. We know what we're going to get from Mark. Hard-working, tracks back. He's got a good cross in him as well. He's very good. He can counter as well. He can take a man on as well, can Mark Albrighton. He's used to that Leicester City lineup. He's used to Vardy. He's used to Tillemans. He's used to Barnes, even though Tillemans ain't playing. But you know what I mean. He's very good on that right-wing position. And up front, the main man is Jamie Vardy. Scored in that Newcastle penalty shootout. So his confidence must be high. Scored last time out in the Premier League. So yeah, hopefully another good performance from Vardy. Hopefully he can get in behind a little bit more often earlier against Newcastle, or James Madden threading the ball through. But yeah, Vardy to start up top. So now moving into my prediction for the game on Saturday against Bournemouth. I'm going to go with Leicester City 2, Bournemouth 1. Like I said, it's going to be a very difficult game at the King Power Stadium, and it could go either way. I can see Bournemouth winning with their strike force, such as Harry Wilson, Callum Wilson and Josh King. They're very deadly in front of goal. But yeah, I think Jamie Vardy will bag the Leicester goal. Obviously, he scored last time out against Sheffield United, and I think James Maddison will bag the other goal. Obviously, he's got it in the England squad. He's got 2 assists or something so far this season. He deserves a goal. His performances so far has been brilliant. So yeah, I think James Maddison will bag the Leicester goal, and I think Harry Wilson will bag the Bournemouth goal. Obviously, he's got a deadly strike on him. He's very good at free kicks, and if you concede a free kick in 25 yards, it's not very good because that Harry Wilson is who will probably score because he's brilliant at free kicks with no need from Liverpool. But yeah, that's it for my match prediction. So guys, that's it for my Leicester versus Bournemouth match preview. Thanks to Back of the Net for coming on the channel today to give you guys the Bournemouth side of things. Like I said earlier, make sure to subscribe, link in the description to his channel. He also does podcasts on Spotify. I'm in episode 56, so make sure to give that a listen if you are interested, guys. But that's it for today's video, guys. So make sure to drop a like if you did enjoy today's video. Subscribe, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already, guys. And make sure to turn on my channel post notifications to never miss any future videos on the channel, guys. Bye, I'm SPORTSA, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace out.